This was the moment that changed everything, where you thought you knew where DanMachi wanted to go, and in return it said, no, this is where we're going to go. We're going to go painful. We're going to make you tense up. We're going to make you feel like the hero's not always going to win in the way that you think they will, where there's going to be no casualties, where there's going to be no pain. It's just going to be Bell powering up with his amazing ability to one-shot KO any and all danger. This episode of DanMachi changed everything, and we have the most foolish and bravest moment Bell has ever done at the end of this episode. Bell so paranoid, Bell so afraid of what to do, because logically he should do nothing. He should let the party just deal with it. He should let a monster get killed, because should you stand in the way of adventurers killing monsters, your familia will be destroyed. Your familia will be exiled, if not executed. But the compassion, the friend, the family, the good person inside Bell says to stand up for Wiene. And even though I feel like he might be able to navigate this situation just because of the party trying to kill the monster, there could be potential for that familia to actually stand up for Bell and give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think this is going to be okay. I mean, the Minotaur's around, the Minotaur is probably going to come to the aid or something to that nature. It's uncertain of what's going to happen, but that moment is the best moment of DanMachi without a doubt in my mind. The emotion, the actual struggle for Bell. Usually in a situation like this with a protagonist who starts out like Bell does, he would jump in and say, "Don't hurt my friend," and he wouldn't struggle with his internal thoughts too much. This Bell, a character who's actually been fleshed out and developed, is struggling to figure out what to do, because he knows his actions will have consequences not just for himself, but his entire party. And that's something you don't get to see in a show like DanMachi too much, and it's something that deserves to be praised a hell of a lot. I don't know where they're going to go with that ending, but I know it's going to change a lot of things going forward for sure. Because an adventurer staying up for a monster, that can't go over well for most people. This episode, I think, really didn't have much to prove. I think this episode could have done almost anything and it would have succeeded for most fans watching. For me personally, I was kind of hoping for a Minotaur to come in and crash on Dix's head just with a big axe, cut him up, and that would be the end of it. Unfortunately, the Minotaur was attacking seemingly good people, and I was like, oh, this isn't too good. This is actually a little too graphic, so maybe I shouldn't have been hyping up a Minotaur. But it is interesting how seemingly a character who we really do enjoy almost getting killed got saved by a howl, and I feel like that's not going to be the last we see of the Minotaur. I kind of feel like the Minotaur is going to pop up in that ending scene of the episode or something to that nature. I still feel like, I don't know, Dick's hiding around in a labyrinth, a Minotaur. I've seen enough mythical legends to know where that could lead going forward. But the fight was very interesting because it was pretty one-sided. I mean, this man's fighting with a spear that if you even get a little paper cut from it, it's never going to stop bleeding, and it only stopped bleeding after he got a magical heal-all spell casted on him. To see something where he's so brainwashed, and I feel like there's going to be some people who will defend Dick saying, oh, he was born this way and that's why he's being like this, and in your defense, you're correct. Because he was born, he's been indoctrinated by his bloodline. No matter what he does, he can't crave the salvation and the satisfaction that he gets from this indoctrination. He doesn't want it. But if we're giving passes because people are just born this way, a lot of child predators, murderers, and things like that could get away scot-free as well. It's like, you can't just say because they're born that way, it gives them an alright pass to, forgive their actions. Absolutely not. I will agree he was born that way and that's why he is acting like that, but he deserves a Minotaur axe to the head, no questions asked. And it's very interesting to see how he was really trying to recruit Bell. This is a guy who's so lost in his own delusion and his own thought process of hunger for hurting monsters that he wants Bell to join up with him. So the whole idea of Wiene being chained up was him watching more torture. He's trying to wake him up by ripping out the crystal that keeps her in her human, almost like talkative form, to turn into this giant serpent-like creature who he just continues to try to salvage and, help him. Just nothing is working. And what I love about anime is generally do something like what we see in this episode, where you have a past action where something hurt a character, such as Wiene cutting our boy, and he's saying it's okay. And now that she's in her full monster form, he does the same thing. It's okay, you didn't hurt me, and it actually sort of snaps her into it. And it's very interesting to not only just see the monsters, but also the humans unsure of what we're witnessing, because how could a monster do that? She is in her full primal form, and she's recognizing Bell, and it's starting to shake some of even Dix's followers to what to do or what to say. And I mean, we got that one guy who got his eye completely slashed open. He's holding that one spear. I feel like bad things are going to happen. I sort of feel like Wiene's dying in this arc. I truly feel that way. I don't know if that's just my gut saying something because I'm just so paranoid, or if that's actually going to happen, but it just feels like this was an episode that was supposed to feel like there was a lot of build-up, and if anything, DanMachi Season 3 has done an amazing job at building up. I know some people will, honestly, light novel readers will always criticize because they'll say, oh, there was this paragraph of dialogue that wasn't in it. I can't say for Season 3 it feels like it's been rushed. It feels like there's so much development, there's so many times for characters to talk, and the emotional weight and the punches behind everything. It feels like it's been well executed and built up to, and it doesn't feel like something that was rushed just to get to cool fights. If anything, the fights are the least interesting part of DanMachi Season 3, and the fights are amazing in DanMachi Season 3. It's just that the character dialogue is a step above anything we've seen so far, and that's what I really like about it. It feels like the best of DanMachi, and I feel like if we get a Season 4, if we get another movie or something like that, I feel like that's where this series is really going to take off, and I've enjoyed Season 1 and 2 a lot. I love binging both of them. With Season 3 and what they're laying out, if we get a Season 4, this show is just going to continue to spiral into such territory you generally don't get to see with a show like this. It's why I'm really happy that this is a pretty popular show in Japan, because I feel like the likelihood of a Season 4 is actually pretty decent, all things considered. The fight was great. I love the breaking of the spell behind the monster's mind, realizing that Bell is still protecting them. Hell, even getting gargoyle-looking creature, willing to help Bell out, even though he's not willing to admit he's a little bit of a tsundere. But hell, you need a tsundere in an anime fight. I mean, what would an anime fight be without a good tsundere? In this case, we get a giant monster, and that's the cutest shit ever. It just felt like this episode had a lot to try to prove to us, and even though I walked in thinking it didn't have anything to prove, it felt like behind every word spoken and just like the indoctrination, this blood oath, and then you have Bell just getting annihilated and then rising to the occasion but not able to just salvage everything. The fact that they actually put Wiene in such a peculiar situation, like there's just so many bad things happening, and I leave this episode not confident Bell can save her, and that's a great feeling. In a show where generally the character who has an ability that if he's in a bad situation powers up his fist to deal with whatever obstacle. He has the ultimate attack, and I feel like he can't win this situation. That is a great point for this show. Voice actors hit it out of the park. Bell and Wiene completely delivered. Wiene's monstrous cries, especially in her giant serpent-like form, amazing. This voice acting, hell, even Dick's, like, this is so good. The Japanese casting is phenomenal, and the visual directing was second to none. This definitely is a show that doesn't get as much praise as I think it deserves in the West. It's something that I feel like maybe got misrepresented in prior seasons, and I think adaptation accuracy could play a factor into that, but at the same time, when I binged Season 1 and 2, I didn't feel the same criticisms I felt when I was watching weekly of Season 1, so I don't know. I just hope fans of Season 3 are really going to encourage anyone who sort of enjoyed Season 1 or even maybe enjoyed parts of Season 2 will encourage to rewatch and then watch Season 3. Season is just, it's honestly one of my personal favorite anime I'm watching this season. That's saying a hell of a lot. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on this week's episode of DanMachi down below. Where do you think it might go? And yeah, just let me know whatever you're feeling. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, share your support, and hit that subscribe button if you have been new around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.